This is the making of an entrepreneur in his journey. Today is April 16, 2024, and it's over 7 p.m. It's almost 7:30, and I'm alone in the office right now and just working on my craft, working on the grunt stuff, the grunt work that I talked about in another video. That thing that you need to do, those things you need to do, but you don't always feel like them, but you have to do them at some point, and there are times in which your brain is kind of foggy, you don't have the best of ideas, you're a bit tired, whatnot. So this is the time in which you need to use your grunt brain. So you don't really use all of your neurons, but there are things that you have to do. In my case, it's optimizing video descriptions, it's putting tags so that YouTube knows that those videos are relevant or not, and the topics that they're relevant for, putting hashtags, making a new thumbnail, testing out things. And that sometimes can be a bit boring. But if you want to be in this life of being a creator, in the creator economy, or if you want to have a business, you'll need to learn to have a higher tolerance for that kind of work, because there are many times in which you'll have to do them. And of course, we always try to optimize so that the business owner, the entrepreneur, is able to spend more of his or her time doing creative work, doing building a new product, or doing things that you can clearly see that I'm not at my best right now because I'm a bit tired. But of course we want the entrepreneur, the business owner, to do the strategic things more often than not. But there are times, especially in the beginning, in which you don't have that luxury. It looks very enticing, it looks very glamorous on social media when you see those guys with the Lambos, or on TikTok, or on Shorts, or on Instagram, whatnot, traveling. But there are two cases in which this can happen. In one case, of course, they had those rocky cutscene years that may be compressed into 5 or 10 years, and now they really have that Wi-Fi money. Then they can really do some things like buy a Porsche or a Lambo, show off a little bit in Dubai, and of course they earned it if that's the case. And if that's the case, congratulations. I hope to get where you are at a year from now, maybe a couple of years from now. But there are also a lot of scammers out there, guys that will just rent the Porsche or rent the Ferrari or whatever it is, just so they can look like they have a life that's much better than it actually is. And I'm sure you've heard of a lot of guys that actually were caught. I forgot the expression right now, but when you're caught doing something wrong. And there are many guys that were actually caught because they were doing those kinds of scams. They were feigning like this life, like if they were very rich or they were very successful, and they actually weren't. And you guys know who I'm talking about, probably. But building your business is actually not very glamorous at all. And I say that as someone that, not only because I know some of you might be thinking, oh, he's just another YouTuber, he's just another, the things that people say or think, and whatever. Granted, let's say you're right. But I also know a lot of businessmen and women that are much older than me, that are in their 40s and 50s and 60s. And man, I'll tell you what, these people, they work their asses off for decades to put money on the bank, to put food on the table for their families. And it's not pretty. Like, of course, you might have a little bit more freedom in terms of time. You might take a bit more of vacation time once in a while, but you'll also be working on weekends, you'll be working at night. When you get home to talk to your wife or your husband, most of the time the talk will revolve around the business, how you can make the business better, how you can interact better with your customers, how you can make a new product, that kind of thing. So it's actually pretty hard. And it's hard not only for the people themselves, but also for their partners, for their kids sometimes, because it's their life. It's their life's creation. Many times their priority, at least looking through an external lens, might be the business itself or growing the business. But that's the funny thing, because especially I'll take my dad as an example because he's a business guy that I really know, and I've seen all my life how much he works, and he still works a lot. And that's one of the things that I'm trying to do to help him delegate better and automatize, make automatic some things that currently are not automized in his business, so that he doesn't have to quote unquote waste so much time working. Because there's a saying here in Brazil that says who works a lot doesn't have time to make money. And that's actually true, because if you're always on the grind, always 100% focus, doing, and you never have a bit of time to stop and relax a little bit, you won't have the best of ideas. And if you work with entrepreneurship, with business, with negotiation, with creativity, with brain power, in a nutshell, with anything that's more of a white collar kind of thing, you need those times so that you can rest a little bit. You can let your thoughts simmer, your ideas simmer, so that your subconscious can spit out the best ideas. And that's what I said in another video as well, that's why tech companies, they'll give you a foosball table, a video game, they'll give you however much time off you want to go on leave, because they know that, of course, you need to think, you need to put things on the whiteboard and draw them up and have the whole team brainstorming and talking about it. But at the end of the day, the best ideas won't come during a brainstorming session. They'll come a couple of days later when someone's taking a shower, or they're going for a run, or they're commuting, and then suddenly they'll think, holy shit, eureka, that's the eureka moment. Like the Greeks, was it Aristotle that said eureka? I'm not sure anymore. But basically, I just wanted to show you guys how it is doing a bit of a Rocky cutscene of sorts. And I was kind of like writing about my day and thinking what I did today and the things I should have done, what I shouldn't have done maybe. And at the end of the day, today was a lot of that quote unquote grunt work. And the most creative today that I've been is recording this video, so that you guys can see that working with ideas and working with the creative economy and all of that kind of thing, it's much more about those not so glamorous things than the glamorous things, actually. So that you guys, and I'm all for it, that you guys try to be more out there, to put yourselves on the internet, to increase the surface of contact, or the luck surface, as Naval would say. But just know that it's not always glamorous. Many times it's quite boring. But it's also quite fulfilling when you start getting traction and when you start seeing that those results starting to add up. And granted that it will take time, it will take a ton of iterations, and suddenly, out of the blue, it will click. It will be like compound interest, nothing, 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 and then it will feel like you hit the jackpot. And that's how I'm feeling lately, because in the span of pretty much a week, or a little over a week, I went from 34, 36 followers on YouTube. Last time I saw, I had 741, which is a gigantic increase of like 20 times in a week or so. And now I'm doubling down on this and putting out more videos. And by the time that this video in particular comes out, I'll probably have over 1,000, which is pretty crazy. And I'll probably put this out 1 week from now or so. And it's quite crazy. It's quite amazing to think how things can change, how things can change quickly. And yeah, this is me showing you guys how it is, how it can not be that glamorous all the time, but at the end of the day, that's what you're working for. You're striving for that moment in which things start to click, and all of that compounding, all of those iterations, all of that time beneath the bar starts compounding, and then suddenly you break through. Thank you for watching. I hope you have an awesome day, and by all means, please follow me, follow my newsletter, follow me on social media, talk to me, send your comments, send your questions, and I always try to answer everyone. And if I see something showing up many times, I'll try to do a video or write about it. So by all means, do that, man. And we are all here to unleash your inner rock star. So keep rocking, keep rolling, and let's go, go, go.